So here in Australia, it's warming up quite a bit, and I personally do not enjoy summer at all. The thought of sipping a nice warm batch brew in the snow is actually my idea of a bloody good time. Unfortunately, half of the year here, it's brutally hot, but we still need to keep those caffeine monsters happy, and I do that with cold brew. This is the Hario Mizudashi Cold Brew pot. I don't know what Mizudashi means, but I'm sure we can find out, or someone can let me know down below. It is capable of making around 1 litre of delicious, smooth, cold coffee ready to drink. And today I'm going to share my secret recipe with you. So, sit tight, grab a notepad, and write down these simple steps. So step 1, we're going to weigh out 100 grams of fresh coffee beans of your choice. I prefer sweet, fruity, funky flavors, so I'll usually opt for a natural or extended fermentation bean. And today I've opted for a Columbia Pink Bourbon, which is super sweet, very fruity, has a lot of watermelon tones, which is, for a summer drink, sounds about right. Step 2, grind your beans at a medium to coarse setting. If you aren't sure what that means, just set your grinder to the most coarse setting and just come back a couple of clicks. It's fine. Cold brew is extremely forgiving, so you don't need to freak out too much about that. Step 3, we're going to remove the lid and the filter from the cold brew pot and pour in all 100 grams of the coffee beans. Once your beans are in the filter, just level it out a little bit just to make it nice and flat. Pop it back into the glass, and then you're ready for the next step. So step 4 is where things start to get quite interesting for this recipe. I can't stress enough that we must use room temperature water and filtered water. So if you don't have a fancy jug like this that filters the water for you, just use bottled water or something similar. Recycle the plastic so we don't kill all the dolphins. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to pour in 200 grams of water at a time into the cold brew pot. And I'm just using scales here. You can obviously just use a jug and put 200 ml in at a time. So essentially what we're doing is we're letting the coffee bloom as you would with a typical filtered coffee. And I think this is a step that a lot of people seem to miss when they're making cold brew. But just do it in 200 ml increments, essentially until you can see that the water's not really flowing through any further. Each time you do this, it'll become quicker and quicker. All right, now we have got 1100 grams of water in with our 100 grams of coffee. Everything is at room temperature, and this is going to sound controversial. It's going to stay that way for 12 to 15 hours. So set an alarm on your phone. Between 12 and 15 hours, depending on how strong you like your coffee. 15 will be fine, I promise. Pop the lid on and go for a bike ride. And then we're going to come back in 12 to 15 hours. I'm not going to ride for 12 to 15 hours, but I'll see you soon. So your alarm has gone off after 12 to 15 hours, and we're ready to taste test the coffee and see if it's ready. So we're going to grab ourselves some kind of spoon or something to stir, a cup, a little bowl, and then we are ready to take the lid off. Pop these guys into that bowl. We're not throwing these away just yet. Just let it drain a little bit. Pop it in the bowl. Don't throw them away. Wait. Then we're going to give the coffee a good stir just to get the coffee nice and consistent, because we're going to taste it. Just a little bit in the cup, and then a little sip. Right, if you're happy with the coffee, throw those grounds in the bin. If not, we're about to do what I'm going to, because that's not quite strong enough for my liking. Now this is the controversial part. Get that? Put it back in, put the lid back on, and I'm going to set the alarm for another 2 hours, because we've only done 12 hours here. So we're going to go for 2 more, see how it goes, and repeat. So try this recipe at home and let me know how you go. If you don't have a Hario Cold Brew pot, jump on one of the million websites. We do have some left at the cafe as well, but they're available everywhere in the world. If you do decide to buy one from us, make sure you let us know that you watched the video. We'll hook you up with the correct beans for it. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have yourselves a great day and happy brewing.